Hey everybody, welcome to Saving Greens Homestead. My name is Keisha, and if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I welcome you. Boy, do I have a treat for you guys today. I have 8 different varieties of tomatoes that I'm gonna taste and give you my review on. So I hope you enjoy my whole tomato taste playlist that I have too, because there's so many varieties of tomatoes in the world, and my goal is to try every last one of them. I love tomatoes. I've got 8 different varieties that I'm gonna share with you today. And you guys have to forgive me. I got my cheat sheet here because I couldn't remember exactly where I labeled everything, but you know, just with weather and everything, the labels rubbed off or whatever. And so I always do a cheat sheet so I know what's what and where it all was planted. So with that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and get into this. Now, I'm gonna start with the obvious one. The obvious one for me is this Black Beauty tomato. I've tried this one before. I love this tomato. It's in my top 5 favorite tomatoes. So I already know what to expect with this one. Now, this one I just threw in because, you know, it's just so good. And it's beautiful. Look at this. Look how pretty that is. So I've already washed all of these. I am just gonna cut a cross section to show you. Now this one is a smaller one. I did have bigger ones, but I already processed those. I already dehydrated. I put them in my dehydrator and dehydrated those. So I left this little one for me to try with you guys. Black Beauty. I love Black Beauty. We all have different tastes that we particularly love. Black Beauty is one of those tomatoes I love the flavor of. It's so good. It's smoky and sweet. I tend to like more orange, black, and I don't know, I'm starting to like the green tomatoes a lot too. And I'm not talking underripe tomatoes. I'm talking tomatoes that when they're fully ripened, they still look green. Like, well, this one is not fully green, but it has some red tinge to it. But the Ananas Noir, that's one of my top 10 too. And I love that tomato. So any of them, Lucid Gem has black shoulders. It's not a full-on black tomato, but it has black shoulders that bleed down to like a orangey red. I love it. The flavor is phenomenal. But anyways, I always love Black Beauty tomatoes. They're just pretty, for one. They're healthy for us, for 2, because of the coloring that's in it. And it just tastes good. It just tastes really, really good. So I'm gonna kind of slide him to the side. I didn't bring a bowl over here so I can place them. I think I'll just put them on the counter here. Okay, so then the next one is gonna be Sergeant Peppers. Now, there's a lot of people that want to know what I think about this one. And so, first of all, it looks like a little heart. And it's just beautiful. The colors are rich. Let me give you an up-close look. The colors are just really rich on this one. It's just beautiful. And so I'm gonna cut the inside, a cross section, so you can see what that looks like. Okay. This is what this looks like. And I'm gonna see what it tastes like. I'm excited to taste this one. Mmm. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so if you watched any of my other taste review videos, I'm not a fan of thick-skinned tomatoes. And there's a number of them out there that has that real thick skin that once you start chewing, you're chewing it for days. It doesn't go away. This one is thin-skinned. I like that. It has a thin skin and it's rather meaty on the inside. It tastes really good too. It's not as sweet. It has like a tart little punch in there. But it's not as sweet like the Black Beauty is sweet. It has a sweetness to it. But all in all, it tastes really good. It's not really acidic to me. It tastes pretty good. I probably would try growing this one again just so I can get a better reading. This year, my tomato growing season wasn't as great for a number of reasons. One being that I stunted my plants early on because I had a grow light that I was using to grow them, to start them indoors. I had it too close and they burned. And I could tell that they had burned because all the leaves turned purple. And it wasn't a deficiency of anything. It was the lights that caused the discoloration, and it took them a while to recover from that and rebound. And I struggled with, should I just start fresh and new? And so anyways, out of the many varieties that I planted, I only ended up with so many that took and grew and recovered. So by the time I planted out my garden, I had about maybe 20 tomato plants in all. And so it's not the 100 varieties that I had started out with. And I'm going to try again this year for that and see how many different varieties I can grow. But these, it took a long time for this plant to grow. It did. It finally rebounded, and it was struggling the whole time. So I want to give it a fair chance and try and grow it again next year. And I'll have more space, because another reason why I didn't have as many tomatoes planted this year was because my tomato row was being remodeled. I was changing it around, and so I still have to put it back together, and so I'll have more space. But all in all, this tomato is not a bad tasting tomato at all. Okay, so I'm gonna go next with this. This one is Afternoon Delight, I believe. This one is Afternoon Delight. Now this one, I had some big ones form. Big tomatoes form on it. And if you watched any of my tour videos, then these would have been the big ones, the big tomatoes that were sitting on the ground, that were under this one bush, that when I started trimming it back, there was these two big old tomatoes down there. And then my dang chicken got out and got to it. I was so mad. Ooh, I was so mad. I put her in chicken jail, which is a dog crate, but I put her in chicken jail because I'm like, you shouldn't be getting out. Anyways, she got out. She helped herself to those tomatoes. I'm glad she loved it, but left me with only the little tomatoes. So this is what I got to work with. Oh yeah. Okay, so this one is beautiful on the inside. Look at that color. I hope you guys can see that good. There's like that red dot in the middle, and then it's yellow flesh. Now that's reminiscent of like the Lucid Gem. Looks like that. It has that ruby red center, and then like a yellow surrounding it, flesh surrounding it. So we'll see. Oh. Ooh, this one is good. Man. That reminds me of the Lucid Gem. I wonder if they're related, because it tastes like a Lucid Gem tomato, which is in my top 5 favorites. This tomato, I could sit here and eat this. Yeah, this one is good. I'm definitely gonna grow this one again. The plant grew large. Big, pretty, full leaves. Beautiful plant. It put on a lot of fruit. And like I said, it had some big ones on there. Now, some of the other big ones was cat-faced. It had some cat facing on the bottom. So I did have some that were ruined because of that. I wasn't able to save those or use those because it was just so bad. But there was others that was really good. Like those 2 that was on the ground, that the chicken got. They were really good. They were uniform. They were big too. See, and I would have enjoyed all of that. That one was a winner. For sure. Okay. Man, I kind of hate to move on from that one. I want to sit here and just eat that whole tomato. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Lillian's Yellow Heirloom. Now this one is a pretty tomato. That one is a real pretty tomato. Now, as far as how it tastes, I don't know. We're going to find out together. Because I've never tried this one before. I'm going to cut it this way. Well, I could do a cross section too. So you can see. I mean, it's juicy. It's really meaty on the inside, as you can see there. It's very meaty on the inside. It's juicy too. So let me cut a piece here, sliver. Let's see. Okay. This one, not so much. Going from the Afternoon Delight to this one is a huge, huge contrast. Afternoon Delight has a pleasant sweetness. When you bite into it, that just, it's good. As soon as it hits your tongue, you're in heaven, right? This one, it's tart. I don't know what it is about yellow tomatoes. I don't like yellow tomatoes at all. I tried the yellow brandy wine. I didn't care for that one either, and this is reminiscent of that to me. Yeah, I don't really care for this one. But I mean, the skin on it is not thick, so that's a plus. But other than that, I don't know. I always say that I'll give a tomato variety a second chance, and I'll try and grow it again next year, because you never know. It could be where I planted it that wasn't favorable or conducive of a favorable flavor. I don't know. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that there's certain environmental conditions that may change and alter the flavor outcome of a tomato, or other outside conditions. I don't know if that makes sense. For instance, overwatering it. If I overwater it, then I'm gonna have a bland tasting tomato because it's gonna be so full of water and not so much flavor. Whatever I use to fertilize it with, or lack of fertilization, you know, if I didn't fertilize it, maybe it was too much sun where it was at, or maybe it wasn't enough sun of where it was at. I think there's conditions, certain conditions that if changed might have reflect a different outcome of the flavor of the tomatoes. So I always give it a second chance and grow it another year, and I just put it somewhere else and see if I have a different outcome. Now, if it comes back and it tastes the same, then that's the variety. But other than that, you only get 2 chances. That's it. I don't think I'm gonna have a whole bunch of yellow tomatoes growing in my garden, because I just don't really like yellow tomatoes. And on white tomatoes, there's some that, like the great white tomato, tastes good to me. Okay, so then my next one that I'm gonna do here is this one is the crushed heart. And look at that. It actually does look like a heart too. It's really pretty. And hopefully it tastes pretty good. Now this one has a bad part on it that I'm gonna cut off. Yeah. I'll show you guys this. Look at that. It is very meaty tomato on the inside. Very meaty. Doesn't have a lot of seeds in it. Let me see. Oh, okay. And look, I took a small piece because I didn't want it to be a repeat of that yellow one. But this actually is really good. It has more of an acidic taste though. This one might be really good for sauces because the flavor is really strong. It has a very strong tomato flavor, but it does have a sweetness to it too. Oh. Oh, that one's good. It has a little thicker skin. But the skin is not off-putting. It's just thicker than some of the other ones I tried already. That's good. Ooh. Okay, that was a good comeback from that yellow one. This one, I definitely would grow this one again. This is the same variety. And that's a pretty good sized tomato. As you can see, that's a pretty good sized tomato. And they're just cute. I would grow that one again, for sure. Just because I like it, I would grow that one again. That yellow one is on the chopping block. It's to be determined after the next time. So, let's see, we'll go with this one next. This one is the Yuko's Persimmon Perfection. So this one is an orange tomato. It has like a orangey tone to it. With my lighting, it makes it look lighter than what it is. It's a real rich orange. So my goal this season was to grow the regular persimmon next to this one and see how they fare against each other. And I had the other persimmon was the first tomato of the season for me, and I accidentally discovered it under some branches of corn that was planted next to it. And so I didn't have it. I don't have them side by side to try. And if I recall, I wasn't particularly thrilled with that one. It tasted okay, but you know, I really wanted to have them side by side. Ooh. Now I'm questioning, I'm second guessing what I've been calling it, what I've been calling this. I've been calling it the persimmon because it looks orange. But the persimmon doesn't have a pinky or a reddish center like this one. I'm going to show you. Look at the center on this one. Oh, the lighting is kind of hard. I hope you guys can make out that pink. Let's see. There, can you see that pink in the middle? I don't think the persimmons would have that. The persimmons would be a full-on orange all the way through. So you guys, I really don't know what this tomato is. Huh. Wow. Surprise, surprise. It happens. If you hadn't watched my my watermelon review video, there's one, I can't remember which one exactly, that I was doing a review on a watermelon, and it was supposed to be red inside, and it was yellow, and I was like, what? It lied to me. This one tastes good. I just don't know what tomato it is. But it tastes really good. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas of what it could be, it has like a orangey color on the outside. I mean, I like it, but I'm wondering. No, it's not the same as that. I don't know what tomato this is. It tastes good though. I'm sad because I wanted to try that persimmon one. But that one tastes good. I just don't know what tomato that is. And where I got it from, I didn't write down on my cheat sheet the name, because that one was in another part of my yard. And I had them all labeled. But you know, labels don't always stay, especially when it's as windy as it is here. So, okay, these little beauties are called Sweetie. But this one was a surprise. A little bit of a shocker because I thought the plant was drowned out by two other tomato plants because I didn't see it grow. It just stayed little. And by the time the end of the season came, I wasn't paying any more attention to it because I didn't think it did anything. And to my surprise, it did grow some fruit. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I get to try it then. Because I saw it, I'm like, okay. To the right of it was these elongated plum type yellow and red striped tomatoes, and to the left side of it were these little yellow cherry tomatoes. So I was like, hey, that looks different from the rest. And turned out it was the Sweetie that grew. It put on some fruit. You can get an idea of what it looks like inside there. It's full of seeds. Oh, but it's it's so sweet. That's the first thing that gets you. soon as you bite into it, it's the sweetness. And it's juicy and tastes really good. Skin's a little thick for my liking. But that's good. I like it. Sweetie. I'm glad those grew. And I'm glad I saw them before they went bad so that I could try them. So that leaves us with the last tomato, which is this Alice's Dream. Now, if you're watching from the tomato group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, then I'm gonna let you know right now. I had called this Queen of the Night tomato, and it's not. It's actually Alice's Dream. So this is Alice's Dream. Look how pretty the colors are on that. The colors are just fabulous. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Beautiful tomato. Alice's Dream. And so I'm gonna cut this into a cross section so you can see it. Oh. No. I was gonna say, you know, this kind of looks like the inside of that other tomato, but no. It has that red coloring in the middle, like that other tomato. This one, the red doesn't just stay in the middle. It just kind of bleeds out. It just kind of bleeds out. It's nice. It's really pretty inside. Let's see how it tastes. I hope it tastes good because it's a beautiful tomato and I'd love to grow it again. That's good. That's pretty good. This has a really, really good flavor. The skin on it is slightly thicker skinned. Like, I'll probably be chewing on it for a little while after I finish this video. But the taste of it is really good. It has a sweetness to it. It's not acidic. It's not full of seeds. It has some seeds, but it's not full of seeds. It's more meaty. That's pretty good. Now, I think this one, the Afternoon Delight one, I think it's sweeter than this. And I think it has a better flavor than this. But this is still pleasant to eat. It still has like a little bit of a tartness to it. Whereas with this one, you get all sweetness and then a slight tart. This one, the tart stands out. But it's so pretty. And the plant put on so many fruit. I mean, so many. Over the season, it was a lot. And they were all decent sized fruit. I would grow this for those reasons, because it's pretty. And you know, it has a decent taste. I'm not going to say this is in my top 10. But it has a pretty good taste. But it's prolific. When it grows, it's just tons and tons of tomatoes in there. I kept finding tomatoes I didn't know were there. And it grew vines, because I didn't get all of my tomatoes trellised up or staked up this year. So when it grew, the vines like snaked all around in areas. And I'm like, what tomato is this? And then I follow the stem back, and it's this tomato plant. So, I mean, it grew very well in the garden. It was off of this tomato plant that I harvested the leaves to dry and use for seasonings and stuff like that. So yeah, but I would give this one another shot because it's just beautiful. It's a real pretty tomato, and as long as you have it out in the sun, then this dark color is gonna show up nicely on them. Same thing like with the Black Beauty or any of the tomatoes that have anthocyanins in it that causes that purple coloration. Put them out, leave them out in the sun, and you'll see how beautiful they are. If they're shaded, they're gonna look just like any other tomato. They don't develop that dark coloring unless the sun hits it. So that has been my experience with it, at least. Anyways, you guys, this is all I have for you today. That was a good number of tomatoes though, especially because I harvested these before I went to Japan. So I went to Japan on the 14th of December. I harvested these, I think it was the same day, because I was running behind and I wanted to hurry up and grab as many as I could, and my flight didn't leave until later that night. So I think it was the same day. December 14th is when I harvested these, and they were green then. So by the time I came back 2 weeks later, they were ripe, and I was able to try them. So, but December tomatoes, you guys, and don't ask me how that they survived and they've been growing all through the cold, because we've been, since October, we've been in the 30s and sometimes 20s at night. And so I don't know. I can't help you out with that one. I can't tell you how they grew so well. But when I grow these again next season, I am going to tag them so I can see if that's a trait that they have, that they are able to tolerate some cold, because that's something that would be desired by a lot of people who live in colder climates. So anyways, you guys, I can talk to you all night about tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I love gardening, and I love just talking and sharing my ideas and thoughts with you. So I am going to close this video, and I will see you in the next video. If you haven't watched my other taste review videos, please go back and look at them. I am in need of some more watch time hours in order to get monetized, and I'm so close, and I have until February to do it. So that's my goal. If you want to help, then go back and look at some of my other videos. Share my videos. If you know other fellow tomato lovers, share my video with them. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, God bless.